911, the address of your emergency.
I just had a 12-year-old boy go up here at my front door asking for help. He's hungry and he's thirsty. He says he just left through the porch at the neighbor's house. Her name is Jodi Hildebrandt. She's a bad lady. Ruby Franke is his mom's name.
This kind of thing doesn't happen, especially to family bloggers.
Ruby Franke, a YouTuber from southern Utah, has been accused of child abuse.
The mom of 6, known for her tough love style of parenting.
I'm only going to say it one more time, and then you're going to lose the privilege to eat dinner.
Their arrests were shocking to millions of Ruby Franke fans.
Franke works with the parent counseling service Connections.
Police officers, open up!
And their founder, Jodi Hildebrandt, was also arrested.
Wait a minute, how do you come to my house?
This was a horrible crime with awful things done to defenseless children.
The child had duct tape around his ankles and wrists.
He's emaciated.
Rope, bindings, and other items used to torture the children.
I was physically ill.
We wanted to understand what happened.
The answer to that question was Jodi Hildebrandt.
Do you guys want to know who Jodi Hildebrandt is?
My aunt, Jodi Hildebrandt, is a monster.
A bizarro feminist nightmare cult prophetess.
You don't go against what Jodi teaches.
Religious radicalism is a key part of understanding this case.
Dreams and visions, exorcisms.
They believed the kids were possessed by evil spirits.
She teaches children need abuse and torture.
It's all the devil, and he uses these kids.
How could anybody ever be so far gone to do that to their own flesh and blood?
I have dedicated my life to truth, and truth has been hated since the beginning of time.
Jodi destroyed my life.
I'm thinking, what kind of power does this counselor have?
She's just gotten away with this for so long.
But, we're just gonna kind of ask you a few questions. Just for starters, what was your full name?
Kevin William Franke. What's your wife's name? Ruby Franke.
Were you involved in the 8 passengers account with your family?
Yes. I was in the videos, if that's what you mean.
Did Ruby more so do the videos for the family?
Mm-hmm. I'm not aware of anything she's done since our separation. I don't visit faith houses anymore.
Chapter of your life that's gone.
It's a past chapter, yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to 8 Passengers. If you have not been to this channel before, I have 6 kids. It's a lot of fun and can be kind of crazy sometimes. What is going on?
Ruby Franke was one of the early Mormon mom influencer pioneers on YouTube. She started a YouTube channel called 8 Passengers, which represented her, her husband Kevin, and their 6 children.
Hi, everybody.
Come grab a dish.
Just sort of displaying Mormon motherhood in all of its splendid glory.
Look at it.
There was one morning in the kitchen where I was filming. Our baby had spilled milk all over the table.
I think every inch of my kitchen has chocolate milk on it.
I had no intention of anyone ever actually watching until that moment when the milk was spilled, and I thought, oh, there might be someone else who sees this. Really, my intention was to just try to find the beautiful moments in my life and record them.
Gravy's the best.
Ruby is just your average mom, and that's the relatable factor in
She is the
that.
perfect Mormon mom. She does everything by the book. She has 6 kids. She's blonde. She has a husband who was working at BYU, working for the church, perfect job position. Go to church every Sunday and wear modest clothing. I can't think of somebody, in my opinion, who is like a more perfect representation of a Mormon woman than Ruby Franke.
Salt Lake City, Utah is the epicenter of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. As a journalist, to live and work in Salt Lake City, it's like if I worked in the Vatican covering the Catholic Church and the Pope.
The Mormon Church is different than your average Christian church. I think it's a lot more involved in terms of the commitment level. It impacts every aspect of your life.
So within Mormonism, there's a lot of rules. The Word of Wisdom has basically an outline of various things that you do to keep yourself in line with the church.
We are not to drink alcoholic beverages. We are not to use tobacco. We are not to drink tea or coffee. And in this same spirit, we are not to use addicting drugs.
The Mormon Church claims to be God's one and only true church on the earth with God's official priesthood authority. So it's a very traditional male-based patriarchal structure, not just in the church, but in the home as well.
Growing up in the church, Mormon women are taught family, home, husband, motherhood. These are all values ingrained in a little girl from the time she's born to the time she gets married.
Hey, since the camera's out and rolling, we should share how we met. There was a meet and greet for was it hot dogs?
Yep. She was the hottest hot dog at the social.
2 weeks from the day we met to the day we got engaged. I was 18. We got married and we started having kids. Kevin started working on his PhD at Brigham Young University. He moved us to Springville, Utah. It just blew my mind at how expensive life was. And now we're like, okay, what do we do? What do we do now?
Sorry, you had to walk.
But I was super positive and I thought, oh, it's fine. It's fine. It'll work out.
Because patriarchy is woven into Mormonism since its beginning. There's very set standards and expectations for women. You're not expected to be the breadwinner. You're not expected to bring really any money in at all. You're not supposed to have a job. You're supposed to be raising your kids.
This creates a perfect breeding ground for Mormon women to want to start exploring having a voice, to start being validated, to start being praised for how they're mothering. You've got all these women that are now empowered to make money at home, still fulfilling their Mormon roles.
There's a controversial corner of the internet on which everyone has an opinion, known as momfluencing. Some women have followings in the tens of thousands or even in the millions, sharing tips and tricks to parenting.
Mormon influencers are such an interesting breed of social media content creators.
They just stand out comparatively to like your average social media influencer. You're gonna see a lot of beige. You're gonna see a lot of gray. You're probably gonna see hair extensions. You're probably gonna see eyelash extensions. You're gonna see a decent amount of makeup. You're probably gonna see a Stanley Cup. Everybody's kind of aiming for the same look.
Good morning, you guys. Today I am making toast for the kids for breakfast.
But with the 8 Passengers channel, there was something unique about Ruby in the sense that she wasn't coming out of the gate aiming to be like your perfect Mormon influencer.
You guys, I cannot pull myself out of bed today.
Half the time, she's not wearing a whole lot of makeup. And she was very open about what was happening in her family and with her kids and her struggles with things.
I'm really, really upset at Sherry right now.
And so people can relate to that. Like, she's a normal mom who gets annoyed by her kids sometimes. And that's more enticing, I feel like, for people than the average Mormon influencer. Like, there was something about Ruby where it was like, doesn't come off as necessarily unattainable for the average person.
Let's just forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I want to feel content and happy, but I don't want to feel complacent. And that's what this article was that I've been reading about.
It says, remember that you don't have to do something extraordinary to have an extraordinary life. And I just thought that is so great. You just do simple little things.
When Ruby Franke started 8 Passengers, she believed that she was promoting to the world what an exemplary Mormon family is, at least at first.
I love you so much.
It just seems like the happiest of families. And I think that's why people like myself kept coming back, because it's what you think is wholesome content. And so you never would have imagined it would have turned into very serious child abuse. As a child and a teenager in Los Angeles, I was getting into YouTube and watching it a lot. That's when family vlogging really took off. Getting ready for the day. I'm seeing all of these different families pop up. So many of them live in Utah. They all have several children, and they're all members of this church that I don't belong to. Just like other families with so many children, the Duggars, John and Kate plus 8, watching 8 Passengers, it was fascinating to see the Franke family living their day-to-day lives, how they're different from you and I.
Hi guys, I'm Kevin.
I'm Ruby.
We thought it'd be fun to just say hi and introduce our family.
Ruby ran a very traditional household. She was a stay-at-home mom. I think we learned Ruby's personality the best out of all of the characters, so to say, in the family. And you had Kevin, and he was in this very traditional father role. He was in the suit and tie, coming home from his job. For the most part, Kevin seemed pretty stoic and on more of the quiet, even introverted side. And then we had Sherry, the eldest of all of the children. She was 11 when the channel started. This strong academic student.
So, reading Round of the Wind for the 3rd time.
And then we had Chad. He was around 10 when the channel started. He was kind of a goofball.
Oh my gosh, Chad, you're so...
Then you have the 2 middle daughters. They're always together, and around 7 and 5 when the channel started.
Okay, let me see my 2 kitty cats.
And then last, the 2 youngest, a boy and a girl. The boy is about 3 and the girl is 1 when the channel starts.
Oh my gosh, you did make a mess.
Who doesn't love seeing a toddler pull funny shenanigans, but they're so darn cute, you immediately forgive them.
How can I get mad at you?
Okay.
Say goodnight, everyone.
Yeah.
I interrupt our regular schedule to make an announcement. We have hit over 1,000 subscribers.
When 8 Passengers first started out, the shots were kind of wonky. It was all spliced together. But then over time, Ruby really got the hang of it.
We have hit 5,000 subscribers, and I am beyond excited.
And that's when we hear more of leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, turn on that notifications bell.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to see more fun parenting tips.
By this time tomorrow, we will have 100,000 subscribers.
Can you believe that?
Suddenly, they just exploded in popularity.
We hit 300,000 subscribers over the weekend.
This was incredible growth for a YouTube channel where people are just watching people live out their lives.
We are counting down to 1 million. Here's our live tracker, and we're going to be watching it all day today. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to pull over. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If I can, oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss it! Oh my gosh, screenshot. Oh, I missed it! I missed it! I missed it! I missed it! It jumped, and I missed
missed it. I missed it. I missed it. I had the baby in the car. Oh my gosh. I would love to do something.
And it's at this time that we're starting to see change with Ruby. Now she's got eyelash extensions. She's wearing more and more makeup.
The channel growth just kept going after that.
And then Ruby started getting brand deals.
Babbel is sponsoring this video. A big thanks to Office Depot, Office Max for sponsoring this video.
And it became a full-on business.
Today is CVX Live. It's the day you meet all your viewers in person.
Who are you guys here for? 8 passengers.
Hi, I'm Lindsay. I like 8 passengers.
We came from Carson, California just to see 8 passengers. Love them. Love you.
Okay. So my first impressions of Ruby and Kevin and that family, it's kind of interesting because we had cultivated a friendship within the social media culture.
I'm here with my wife, one of our little babies here.
My husband and I had one of the biggest YouTube channels in the world. We had 12 million followers.
Yeah, you see that?
The channel's called The King of Random, and it was based on science and experiments.
You call yourself the King of Random. This is so cool. How did you even know to do this? I love it.
Even though we were very different genres, we started to run in the same circles and have the same complaints and talk about the same issues, and that became really bonding. We were all in this club of Mormon creators, and so, you know, I felt really special. But at the same time, we would go out to dinner with Ruby and Kevin. We brought our family, and they had their cameras out. They were documenting things at the dinner, and it felt really invasive to me. Like, you can't just sit down and enjoy a dinner. You have to create content around everything that you're doing. Like, what do you have for yourself if you're videoing everything in your life?
Honestly, my biggest fear ever since I started vlogging was, but what if I wake up and my children are just staring at a wall all day and there's nothing to film?
When you do family vlogger content, I think sometimes you got to get creative because like you film your day-to-day and that can come kind of monotonous.
Arrest me!
So Ruby was creating more and more sensationalized content out of an impulse to get more clicks, to get more views, to get more money.
So there was an instance where she's in a car accident and the first thing that comes to Ruby's mind is like, I gotta film this.
Oh my gosh, are we hit? Are we hit? Are they okay? Are they okay? I'm shaking.
She's running around with the camera in front of her face and then she's filming the kids. They look bewildered. Instead of assessing, maybe the kids are in shock, like maybe the kids have actual injuries, but she's like, let me pull this out first because this is content.
The blue car had a tire blow and I had to get out of its way.
Those kinds of videos pull major views and in turn, big profit. And Ruby doesn't seem to have a pulse on whether or not that's like inappropriate to share with the world. Because of that, like you have this immense lack of privacy for the kids.
Hey buddy, look at me. Hey, it's okay.
Oh, is that going?
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
I was a teen watching them thinking, I don't think I would want this being filmed.
Been asking all summer if she can shave her legs and armpits.
At that time, as a viewer, we didn't necessarily understand the full monetization of YouTube. It was just happening before our eyes. We weren't really thinking about the financial gain they were getting from all of this. And so because of that, with Ruby, it was kind of like nothing is off limits.
Mom. She's all embarrassed.
I think the question that was on everybody's mind when they're discussing this is, if she's okay with putting this on the internet, what isn't being shown that they're also okay with doing?
When you guys had the previous 8 Passengers YouTube channel, you guys got a lot of heat for neglect and child abuse. A lot of people commented those things on there. Why were they commenting those things?
That's a good question.
We're continuing our warpath on these Mormon family vloggers. After deciding that we were going to leave the church, we realized that there was a need for people to talk about their experiences. And so we created our YouTube channel called Jordan McKay.
By far, probably one of the most requested people that you guys have asked us to cover are the 8-passenger family. Lots of problematic things happening here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So everything kind of took a turning point in 2020 when Ruby put out a video where she mentions that she had taken her oldest son, Chad's bed away, and does not really expand on that.
In our house, when we take something away, it's because they have shown that they are not responsible enough to manage it. And so we don't just turn around and give it back as soon as they start acting good.
My bedroom was taken away for 7 months, and then you give it back like a couple weeks ago.
I don't think our viewers know that.
You've been sleeping on a beanbag.
I've been sleeping on a beanbag since October. And they gave my...
You can't even be approved to adopt a child in the state of Utah unless you can provide a bed for them. So forcing her son to sleep on a beanbag was alarming to many of the 8 passengers' viewers.
People started talking about it.
Internet outrage. It was everywhere.
He was made to sleep on a beanbag. This woman,
This is all on camera, so this is what the mom feels like is good, and she's showing everyone.
Chad not having a bed for 7 months, she has to hold back a smirk. You know, her mouth will do this.
So then on the 8 Passengers channel, people started combing through all of the content and finding more awful things Ruby had done to her kids. One of the really eye-opening moments was the clip of the youngest child who is not behaving in the way that Ruby finds appropriate or is not bending to her requests. And so Ruby is holding a beloved stuffed animal and threatening to cut the head off.
If you cut one more thing, I'm gonna cut its head off.
Grandma will be so mad.
So what are you gonna do?
For a child, like, that's traumatic. What lengths aren't you willing to go to discipline your kids?
You get your socks picked up, run and go pick them up, and then give me 10 push-ups. 1. Put your hands straight out. They're in. They're not supposed to be out. Shape your hands forward. I'm only gonna say it one more time, and then you're gonna lose the privilege to eat dinner.
Ruby would also say things like, oh, if you're not gonna do that thing, then I guess you're not having dinner. Or I'm not feeding you breakfast then.
For example, the youngest child had gone off to school, which at the time was
kindergarten.
She had forgotten to bring her lunch to school.
I know that her teacher is uncomfortable with her being hungry and not having a lunch. And it would ease her discomfort if I came to the school with a lunch. She was responsible for making her lunches in the morning, and she actually told me she did pack a lunch. So the natural outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry.
She had no qualms or hesitations about sharing the fact that she was willing to withhold food as a punishment.
Hopefully nobody gives her food and nobody steps in and gives her a lunch. My hope is that she'll be hungry and come home and go, oh man, that was really painful being hungry all day. I will make sure to always have a lunch with me.
She was starving her daughter as a means of punishment.
I guess she expects her daughter to be perfect and never make mistakes at 5 years old. That's disgusting. That's disgusting behavior.
If you want to get people really riled up in social media, you start talking about responsibility. It's like the R word. People don't like to hear it.
But at the same time, we start to hear a difference in the way the Frankies are speaking, and there's very specific language being used within the family.
Be good! Be responsible, honest, and humble!
What does that mean?
The fact that he's not willing to sit with me and be humble and talk is a big demonstration to me that he has some distorted views and that he is in a lot of shame.
All of these antics were so alarming to her viewers that they started reporting Ruby to Child and Family Services in Utah.
You have people that are so outraged that they're literally creating petitions on the internet with thousands upon thousands of signatures that are saying there's something very wrong here.
The things that we show and share and the things that many of you are criticizing and calling abusive are actually things that mental health professionals have counseled us to do.
So we're asking the question of like, why? Why is she acting this way? And a big part of why was Jodi Hildebrandt.
You know a female named Jodi? She is a therapist and a life coach, and she's. Do you respect her? Do I respect her? Yeah, I think she is a very honest, truthful person. Yes. Okay.
It's from Kevin. Chad just called me from the office at school. He and his friends were clowns and were disrespectful today. I told them that Chad will stay home tomorrow and work for his mother.
Ruby was struggling with her oldest son and looking for help. And so someone recommended the therapist, Jodi Hildebrandt. Jodi was somebody that wouldn't be manipulated and that would be kind of like tough love.
First conversation that Jodi had with Chad was in June of 2019. But her theory was, if you want to help your child, you have to help yourself first. So she spoke with Ruby frequently.
Ruby was in a vulnerable time. She was getting a lot of backlash from fans.
I'm sorry that I'm breaking down in front of you.
Videos that Ruby released that dealt with Chad just blew up in her face and basically burned down like our YouTube channel. We lost 90% of the income overnight. And so Ruby was looking for support. She was looking for someone who would understand her, who would validate her, and she found that in Connections and Jodi Hildebrandt.
Welcome to Connections. I'm Jodi Hildebrandt. So glad you're with us. If you're like me, you've had pain in your life. Connections is the solution.
What is Connections?
What isn't Connections? That was the genius of whatever Jodi was trying to do, is that you could take anything and make it anything that you wanted it to be. Self-help materials, I guess you could call it, really.
We are here to change the world. This is an alternative to anything that you've been trying that hasn't been successful. So if this resonates with you, which the truth is that it resonates with everybody, please come check it out.
Jodi Hildebrandt went to the University of Utah, got a master's level degree, and then spent another couple years certifying to get a therapist license.
Jodi Hildebrandt had her hands in a lot of things professionally. A lot of her work was with Mormon people. And knowing the population that she's working with, Jodi was very intentional. We're gonna help work on family issues. We're gonna help strengthen your marriage.
I wanted to personally invite you to our next couples conference. We're gonna be talking about fear inside relationships.
She basically just started developing manuals, developing her own style of marital therapy, and her own support groups under the brand name Connections.
It's not spelled like Connections, it's spelled with an X. It has truly turned my life around.
So Ruby jumped into Connections head first and was like, let's go. And Kevin was a lot more hesitant.
I've been just feeling so excited about getting a room full of men who want to understand about God, connection, and themselves.
And my impression at that time was, this is absolute craziness. But I got challenged to sit down and have a vulnerable conversation with my wife. Ruby very emotionally just shared how she felt in our marriage.
I went into the marriage believing like, okay,
here's what I bring to the marriage. I bring my body and I make sure the house is clean. So that it wasn't going to hold water for too long in our marriage. And that's why we started to have leaks.
It was really emotional and it touched me. Like, I didn't realize that she felt so strongly about that she felt so hurt by that. And so I agreed to join a men's group with Jodi.
Hi, we're here at Man School, and we're here together with about 45 men who are interested in learning how to connect.
So at this point, Ruby and Kevin, they're getting really involved in connections and participating in events.
You have nothing to lose, but by not committing to connections, you have a lot to lose.
I have really benefited from associating with Connections in the last year.
They're in their marketing materials, teaching their classes, doing their little Zoom meetings and their webinars.
I felt like our marriage was getting stronger. I thought, wow, this is great.
Ruby is a part of the original 10 women that are being trained to become mental fitness trainers.
Jodi was running a business. Her business was to train other people in her methodology or philosophy so they could then build up their coaching and it would grow her business.
I am sure you're here because you have a desire to heal, a desire to have joy in your life and connection in your relationships.
Jodi claims she has all of the answers. She will tell me how to heal my family. That's very appealing.
I had done everything right. I'd followed all the rules. And then my husband died.
Grant Thompson, aka the King of Random, has died. The YouTuber had gone paragliding on Monday and never returned.
The first year after my husband died was just complete shock and me trying to put the pieces together. For years, I was the support role for my husband to become YouTube famous. All of a sudden, I'm a single mom. I'm trying to run my husband's business. I'm in survival mode and I've never been given the tools to deal with this. And my faith wasn't helping me get through this hard time. And then that's when our social media manager, he recommended Ruby and talked about this psychologist that Ruby was working with. And that's when I was introduced to Jodi. So I joined the women's group. I went all in. I made my whole life about connections. Jodi taught me to feel more empowered as a woman and as a mother, and the tone of my home really, truly did change to a more positive energy. And because she was a woman, it also felt super empowering because it's like, yeah, women should have a voice in the church. Women should be validated. Women should be listened to. And Jodi has these principles that the church needs.
Good morning, passengers. How are you guys today?
In the beginning of 2022, we realized that Ruby was not uploading videos as much to the 8 Passengers channel.
And I'm doing some really fun and exciting things in the mental health field. And so it's less time vlogging at home. So for those of you who are asking, hey, where are all the vlogs? Why is it you're not on here as much as I would like? And that's why. So
it went from multiple times a week to like maybe once a week until it was finally the final upload. They uploaded a video of the baptism of their youngest child, and that was it. 8 Passengers went dark.
For many years, I ran a YouTube channel called 8 Passengers. We found a lot of success, and my children were spoiled rotten. I did what a true loving mom would do, and I said, no more.
She could have gone right back.
We would check every now and then and see what's going on with Ruby. We had realized that Ruby was still doing things, she just was not uploading at the 8 Passengers channel. She had appeared on Jodi's Connections Classroom on YouTube and seemed to be the co-host of self-help videos that they were starting to produce.
I'm Jodi Hildebrandt, the founder of Connections.
And I'm Ruby Franke, Jodi's sidekick.
Don't let the sidekick fool you. She is full of wisdom and knowledge. She has much to share with you.
With this base,
We went from like all over Ruby's house everywhere and like all the time vlogging, just following her wherever she went. And then now we have this stale appearing space where Jodi and Ruby are sitting on this massive couch. It was just very bizarre. And their interactions between each other, like they would sit very close to each other. There was always a lot of touching. There was always a lot of tenderly looking at each other.
This is called physical intimacy, when I can touch my friend's hand and say, I love you. That is emotional and physical intimacy.
8:54.
So we started to theorize about, where are they doing this? And then we were like, maybe they're filming these things inside of Jodi's house.
And so Jordan ended up finding the house. We had seen pictures of it.
And that's when we find out that is actually what's happening. They're filming these videos in Jodi's house. Ruby's there constantly.
The house, it's all the way down south in Ivins, away from where the kids are supposed to be going to school, away from where Kevin is.
Rumors online started to spin something about divorce, that Kevin had moved out of the house and like found an apartment somewhere. And so now we're like, what is going on? There is something weird happening here.
Go deeper, quicker with this life-on-life training where you will be spending all day and evening with Jodi and myself, getting the help that you need. Also, don't forget we have a women's retreat coming up in October.
So I've been engaging in this women's group for about a year, and we'd come to group and we would make goals. So one of my goals was to not yell at my kids. And so that was called my addiction. I was addicted to yelling at my kids. And one of the requirements is to make 3 phone calls a day. You call somebody in your group and talk about your triggers. That's what we would call them. So if I yelled at my kids, it's like, okay, take a couple steps back. What triggered you to lose emotional control, that you indulged in your addiction, that you yelled at your kids? At this point, I'm so indoctrinated in the group. I wanted to live up to Jodi's standards. But now we're talking up to 3 or 4 hours a day on phone calls, and this is like the equivalent to like a part-time job.
Can anybody identify any pain or discomfort today? Yeah, Becky.
Not being able to get all the things that I needed to done, or phone calls or connections with people.
Yeah.
Was
painful.
Frustrating and painful.
Anybody have a day like that?
As we would report our phone calls, one of the things I started finding myself doing, and Jodi warned us of this, is not being honest about how many phone calls we're making. I want to be honest, but I'm starting to now feel shame and guilt for not doing this.
Shame/disconnect is the antithesis of humility. It is prideful, it is arrogant, it is unwilling to take accountability for oneself. And so I invite her. You're going to come into connection?
Yeah, I will. I'll try to do better. Tomorrow I will try. Yes. Yeah.
That's
I'll
a
try.
weak answer in connection. That's still distortion.
I had been participating for a long time, and I was starting to feel like some of these things are really feeling off. It started to become very cult-like.
Understanding that Jodi was a licensed mental health professional, I was really concerned because of some of the content that she and Ruby were putting out. For one, Ruby was made a certified mental fitness trainer by Jodi, which is not a real credential. And she's giving mental health advice, which is not appropriate for someone who is not trained.
Unless you, the mom, do what I'm telling you to, you're being canceled in your own home. Your own children are canceling you.
I left Connections at the end of 2022. That's what caused me to check in every now and then on the social media channel.
If you see that our children are being attacked, if you see that truth is being attacked, if you see that God's being attacked, and they don't have truth.
I would call other people that, had been in the group and, say, have you seen their content lately? Isn't it like crazy?
The reality about pain is it's necessary.
When I started hearing these things like love is causing pain for your children, and I'm like, that sounds really off and odd. This is getting more and more extreme in a way that is very harmful. It's scaring me.
This is what love sounds like. When you see someone hurting, you acknowledge the hurt.
There was a video that Ruby put out where she was like, people think that I'm too tough. It's bad to be tough on your kids.
If your kid came to you on fire, would you say, I'm so glad you trusted me to tell me you're on fire, but if I put out the fire, that's gonna really hurt and you're gonna end up with scabs anyway, so I'm just gonna love you where you are right now? No, you throw them on the ground and you start hitting the flames. You're hurting me, you're beating me. No, dear, hold still, I'm getting the fire out.
From that video, I distinctly remember thinking, there is something seriously wrong happening with these children.
On the address of your emergency.
Little boy still up here at my front door asking for help. This kid is he's obviously covered in wounds. Is there any other kids up at Jodi's house? 2 sisters, and they're still at this house.
Are they tied up as well?